What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Good afternoon. Happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans out there serving our country, keeping us safe. Just wanted to give a special shout out, especially to two of my moms that I know have served in the military, Manny and Jeff. Shout out to the both of you. Thank you all for serving your country, keeping us safe. I appreciate you. So, on behalf of the Lady Luck Club, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. And of course, we're here to honor you. What's going on, y'all? Hey, people watching, make sure you guys are hitting that like button as you come in. This is going to be something else. And I want to go over a couple videos, especially the one here from Milk Bar TV. He dropped today. And I'm subscribed. I actually, enjoy his content, especially what he does on Candace Owens, because he and Jay Witt are both really good with creating like montages, and having those montages allows you to see like various clips all at once. So it's so much easier. I promise you, it's so much easier to be able to do a video off of those montages than it is to have to, you know, do separate videos. I get it. People who do that, they want to definitely maximize the content and the views and all those things. But I personally don't I just don't have time. I have to work during the day. So mama has to do what's best for her and her schedule. But um he did an interview with a former police officer. And what's so ironic is that I got an email from one of the supporters here in the LLC, um with I think Savvy. And was it you, Savvy? Yeah. Hold on, I want to make sure I got the right person. um it was I want to make sure I got the right person, because a couple Savvy, your email went to my spam folder. That's what happened. I don't know if Savvy's listening. And then the S Files sent some information regarding the law regarding the ambulance. So there's, a myriad of resources online that you can look up regarding Utah's laws on having ambulance standby, like paramedics, EMS on standby for certain events. And it was just a matter of a chat GPT Google search. And even like, you know, the law is not directly clear on saying it is illegal if you do not have EMS paramedic services on standby, especially for a campus event where they still have their own measure of security. Most campuses have their own police officers, have, like a medic clinic or something on campus, and then, of course, they have hospitals and um, treatment centers that are at least, reference to where students, if they get sick, something happens, that's like the kind of go-to hospital. Now, not saying it's the only one, but it's probably either the closest one or the one that has like a level one type trauma unit where they can see a myriad of issues, especially in their ER. So, as far as it being a law, I have to be honest, I haven't seen a law that says specifically that, but there's nothing wrong with having paramedics and EMS on standby. It's just that when Candace says this is a law, and then she doesn't cite the actual statute code, to me, that's simple research right there. It's just a Google. I don't understand why anyone would lie about a state law when you can, if you're going to cite that or make that statement, then show the actual law. So, shout out to US Files for sending me this information here. And it's, it's something I looked at, and I don't even, did I even say anything about that? Because Candace says a lot of dumb stuff that has to be debunked. But I don't think I went into detail on the law regarding the paramedics, but it says here, giving the evidence, and I'm just reading from my email. Given the evidence, it seems that while having an ambulance on standby would be strongly advisable, especially under heightened security concerns, there is no published law that was located through Chat GPT requiring UVU by statute to have one at that event. So there are some guidelines and measures in place to where you can get that type of service for an event. It would be like any other vendor event. I think you would have to have a permit. So you have to have a permit on file, of course, with the local city, county, before you have the event, and have all those things in place. And whether or not you deem it necessary, I mean, is it advisable? Yes. But see, here's the thing. I'm going to show a part of this video that was sent to me where, hold on, I want to make sure. So I got an email from a Sassy and a Savvy. So Sassy sent the video link. One of the content creators, I think his name is Adam Bartholomew. And I want to play this part of it. We're going to get to it. And I think that would kind of dispute the fact that no one, like no paramedics or EMS was on campus at the time after Charlie Kirk was shot. So kudos to you guys. Thank y'all. Y'all look out for me so well. So I got 2 emails that ended up in my spam folder. Sassy, your email, and Savvy's emails went to my spam folder, and I don't know why. So I'm just saying 2 good emails here, and I apologize. I don't know why it went straight to spam, but now I put it in my inbox, so all your emails should come directly back to me. Waiting to hear back from University of Rhode Island to confirm if a degree was issued to Candace. And now this is my fault. I put in the wrong date of birth. I sent the email on April 19th. It should be April 29th. So that's my bad. And since it's Veterans Day today, they did respond, but they could not locate her because I gave them the wrong birth date. I put 1/9 instead of 2/9. So that's my fault. So I have to wait today, come back to the office tomorrow and give a response. But the response was quick. It was a quick turnaround response. And I was actually shocked that they pointed out, hey, we can't resend us that date of birth, and then we'll try to, see if what we can find to just confirm it. I don't even want a copy of anything. I just want to confirm whether or not she was actually issued a degree. That's it. That's all we're doing, Candace. We're just asking questions, not trying to dox you, not trying to get your personal information. None of that. They can give me a simple confirmation. That's all. So I'm excited. So you guys make sure y'all hit the like button. Let's get to it. Yeah, I just had to get all that out. And if I sound nasally, it's because I do have a bit of a cold. But let's get to this. I think Candace went live today too, child. I saw her live show from yesterday, and I was like, okay, she's doing exactly what I said she would do. She's recycling her conspiracy theories. Now she's back to, the the pipes or something to that extent. I mean, and then she held up her phone and still didn't have any text with time and date stamps. Couldn't even see it clearly. So, ugh, I'd rather do this. I guess that's my whole point. I'd rather do this. I think most people kind of like, we're sick of her voice. Me too. So I'm going to give her show a break today. Maybe we'll pick up tomorrow's show, a little bit of it, but y'all didn't miss out on anything. I'll tell you that right now. Nothing new was said. She's just recycling the same old crap. So let's get to this. This is from Life is Driving YouTube channel. This video went viral. It's got 254,000 views. And like I said, shout out to Sassy for sending me this link. Here, there are 2 timestamps that I have. The first is the EMS here that I saw walk past, and then the other is, I think there is an interview going on of some sort with Turning Point staff. Someone tried to hush the young man up, but we'll check that out. Let's get to this first. Y'all put a one in the chat if you can see or hear. Let's get to it and then we'll get to some comments, okay?
Hey, everybody clear out. There's someone here.
Y'all see that? Y'all see this here? I just want to kind of go back so y'all can see this person right here. This man is paramedic EMS. Candace said no one was there, right? Let's go back. Y'all see this? Doesn't that say UVU medic? Let me see if I can zoom in. No, it won't let me. Y'all let me know. What does it say on his shirt? Does it say UVU medic or medi? Because, Candace Owens said no one was there from paramedics and the medical staff is not on standby. Yeah, this is immediately after like 2 minutes after the shooting. Not even that. A good minute after the shooting. I'm seeing someone carrying 2 red bags, walkie-talkie, with a shirt that looks like it says UVU Med. Y'all see this, right? Yeah, I'm rewinding. Look at what he's carrying here. These red bags. Doesn't that look like some sort of paramedic or EMS? Look at that. He got on gloves. Doesn't that look like some sort of EMS? Y'all let me know. It looks like EMT. Thank you, Tracy. Doesn't that look like EMT? So if I'm seeing EMT there, within the most played here is the moment you hear the shot to the moment we see this. And shout out to I don't want to mess it up. Life is Driving for recording, because look at what we're seeing. Who said paramedics weren't there again? This looks like fire EMT, maybe fire EMS. He got a defibrillator as well. Exactly. Well, shout out to you, Kiwi. What's going on? You see, listen, look. Let me tell y'all something. Shout out to Sassy. Shout out to Savvy, Manny, all those who send me the information on Candace Owens to help debunk her ass. Can y'all tell me, isn't this EMT? Like the firefighter EMT? Yeah, it's. I recognize the bag he's carrying. Thank you, Michelle. So yeah, that's what EMS usually carries. But I mean, you can see he's got on gloves. He's got this walkie-talkie. I'm trying to make out what's on his shirt there. I could have sworn I saw UVU medic. So y'all, help me out with this, because where did she get the idea that no paramedics or medical staff was on standby whatsoever? And yet you see one go past. I'm seeing 2 here. They both got on the pouches, the same shirt, and they're standing next to the police officer over here. You're seeing him coming from the area over there where they're driving. By this point, Charlie Kirk was in a vehicle after having been manually carried. Look how close the tent is to the car. So it's not like they had to travel across the entire campus to get Charlie Kirk inside of a vehicle here. So let's just say paramedics was not there with an ambulance. They went on ahead and took him to the hospital, because if there were no like an ambulance around, then they would have had to wait for an ambulance to get there. And then you had a crowd of people running from the area. And I was informed, I think you told me that the school was already on some sort of a lockdown or shelter in place. So you got people everywhere. And Candace said, no one there with ambulatory, no paramedics, no ambulance, no nothing. What am I seeing here? People with gloves on. He's got gloves in his hand. Didn't we just see a paramedic walk past? This is what I mean by, Candace making blanket statements and not even looking at. There's so many video footages out there of this. Thousands of people were out there. That's what I mean. She making comments saying she didn't see something, but there's no way she's looked at all the video footage because she's too busy speculating and creating conspiracy theories on everything else, Egyptian planes and all this shit. You can't look at a video of someone that was there and you didn't pick up on the paramedic, or you conveniently just didn't say it because it didn't fit your narrative. Which one is it, Candace? Either you just didn't watch the whole video in its entirety, and you didn't notice this, or you noticed it and you just failed to state the obvious truth that there were paramedics, people who were specialized to provide some sort of medical services on the scene here, on site. You can't make this up. You see him coming in with these two big red yellow bags, wearing this equipment, wearing gloves. You can't make this stuff up. They even got on these shirts. I think it says UVU Med or Medic. So where she get that from? Who told her that? They did everything possible. This is what and if you guys check out my playlist, I go over the anatomy based on the point of entry of of the bullet. I actually pull up a video from an actual medical institute where it gives you this 3-4D type, animation, and it gives you, an overview of the possible blood vessels in the neck that could have been severed. You can't make this up. So we see paramedic walking by, someone that has some level of certification to provide some sort of life-saving treatment. And we see no one standing here. It's like he's kind of in shock a little bit, which is to be expected, especially if you don't really have a whole lot of experience seeing people being shot dead in front of you. But you just saw one walk past him from the area where Charlie Kirk's vehicles are with 2 red medical bags. So what the heck is going on? Yeah, Earthshot. She said Monday that she has, what's going on? Is it Eno? I don't want to mispronounce your name. I just call you E right now. Said Monday that she has an earth-shattering reveal for Wednesday. Must be hard at work. Can't wait for the next round of weird feels. Y'all. Oh my God. Shout out to you, Tracy, for the $5 super. Y'all, I always forget this. It's sometimes my moms just have to remind me. Shout out to my moms. Shout out to all of you all. We had a members only live stream earlier this afternoon and had a great time. I people make videos about me, clown me out, stuff like that. I don't care. they prove nothing. But I just want to thank you all, the members, for tuning in. And if you are a member, make sure you check out the videos and hit the like button on that. I mean, it might be members only, but it's an opportunity to be able to hang out with you all, talk with you all. So just want to say shout out to all of those who did tune in. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. I really do. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it. So Tracy sent the $5 super. We have a $25 goal for the live streams. Sometimes we meet it, sometimes we don't, for the expenses of the channel and for the continuation of this great content here. You guys see the live streams that I have scheduled for tomorrow. There's some court documents that, shout out to Andrea Burkhart, who's an attorney, that might possibly be able to put a kibosh on the nonsense. I don't think it's ever, it's, if you truly do things with integrity and you consider yourself to be a member of the press, reporting on the facts in a situation as sensitive as this, where someone had their life taken from them in the presence of thousands, millions watching live stream virtually. You want to preserve the evidence, the case, to be able to have an impartial jury pool selection. You want the case to be, as fair and impartial as possible, because you understand the importance of ensuring, one, we got the right person. Two, we don't say or do anything that could taint the jury pool or the case. And then three, we're not giving out misleading information, because that misleading information could have an effect on the case overall, especially if you get a jury where, even if it's a 12 jury, even one is watching Candace Owens. And then they ended up, having some sort of influence because of that. See, that's what the courts is trying to avoid. Let's make sure we don't get a candy ass in the jury. Let's make sure we don't get a candy ass in the jury here. No one has time for your dumb conspiracy theories. And these orders specifically speak to, one of them is the motion to have, certain exhibits and documents and transcripts and things of that nature sealed, which would make sense in a high profile case. That also in turn helps to preserve the evidence. It helps to keep from getting information out there that could help the defense's case and cause the jury pool to be tainted, or cause, unnecessary attention to the case that would have an effect on the ruling or outcome. And so we're going to go over that tomorrow, because Candace Owens wants a gag order to apply to her for some reason. And she might just get it, but she won't like the consequences if she violates it. Oh, yes. So you guys can see here, there's a whole lot that's moving. And I just, and I don't understand it's the little lies for me, Candace. It's the little lies for me that come out to mountaintop type lies. Your little lies start off as a seedling in the ground, and then it grows and it becomes a mountain that covers 3 states. That's how your lies grow. It's exponential. It's the little lies for me, Candace, or just the big, bold, brazen lies in front of me. So let's get to the second timestamp, and then we're going to get some comments and shout outs to all of you all. Shout out to you, Tracy. And like I said, we got the $25 goal for the chat. I appreciate all of you all tuning in, and the support you guys have been giving me here in the Lady Luck Club is reassuring. Thank you so much. And let's get to the second timestamp here. And I want to show this, and then we're going to get to the next video here. Now, this is the young man. This is the young man. I think he does work for, correct me if I'm wrong, they are with Turning Point. And there's several of them wearing the same shirt. And he gives a little, interview. So this was the video Candace brought up, where she was trying to make it seem like, oh, Turning Point is trying to silence people, because she doesn't understand how court works, investigations work, the FBI, the CIA, anything regarding our judicial branch of government. She has no clue to how any of that works. None. And I've gone over plenty of lawsuits involving her, or that she filed, to corroborate that. She has no concept of how court works. So we're going to check this out. And I want y'all to pay attention to something that he's going to say.
Probably the third. Okay. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I saw hit. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped forward. Let's
go back. I want y'all to hear that again.
See what happened?
We're going back. Because I wanted to hammer.
You just see what happened?
Yes, I saw him. What's it called? Are you recording this?
Yes, you're live right now. Well, we're recording. I don't know if we're live because of the cell service.
So,
hang on.
I was standing in probably the third. Okay. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck.
Pause. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you've seen the actual raw footage of when Charlie Kirk was shot. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen it, because I've seen it. I have it. I've been contemplating whether I'm going to upload it to the members only. I have not done that yet. Because unlike Candace Owens, I don't want to traumatize people. I was going to upload the raw, uncensored video of when he gets shot, where there is a huge blood splatter. But put a 1 in the chat if you've seen that. If you've seen it at least once, just once. Never tried. Some of you put 1s in. Thank you, Yuck 2.0. What a blessing. I thank you for that. Gifted 10 Lady Luck Club memberships. Shout out to you, Yuck. Thank you. Now you guys will be able to go to the members only and check out the live stream from earlier. It's something else. So I'm saying, I want you all to be honest. If you have seen it, because I've seen it. I've seen it. And that's why I did the anatomical video showing the view of the neck and everything, because I saw exactly where the entry point is on the neck. I mean, and only for the intents and purposes of just being able to research that information and report it so that people can understand the damage that was done, so that you can understand how fast it is to bleed out. Not to sit here and reinvigorate any horror, details or anything. It's solely for the purposes of just, here's the point of entry. Here's what was possibly severed as far as the blood vessels. You have a carotid, the left internal carotid and jugular artery and that jugular vein on the left side. And based on where exactly it went through the neck, it looks like it severed those 2 major blood vessels. Even if it hit one, that's enough to cause bleed out. And it wouldn't even take long. Within a matter of a good minute or so. Because the aorta itself is working under pressure against gravity to pump blood up through your face. And then there's 2 branches from that artery, from the internal aorta. It is supplying blood to the face, and the other branch supplies blood to the brain. And it has to have an immense amount of pressure to pump that volume of blood against gravity. Gravity pulls everything down. Sometimes we don't appreciate the intricacies of our cardiovascular system that God created us with. So since gravity is naturally going to pull everything down, the blood pressure for blood to flow, for anything to flow upward, has to be immense. Does that make sense? So in order for that to provide the adequate blood flow between the face and the brain, that blood pressure is stronger than what people estimate and think. And those blood vessels are more durable, they're a lot more tough, but they are also bigger and wider. So it's a lot more blood flowing through the left internal jugular artery and that vein in the neck. So if you get hit, if even just the artery gets severed, that blood splatter is going to be, of course, larger than normal. And it's going, you have no way of really sealing the gap on that. If it's severed, it's an act of God. And then you still have internal bleeding. It will be an act of God for a person to survive that type of shot. Make it to the hospital where they can, because they're going to have a significant amount of blood loss. Make it to the hospital where they can operate on you, give you some blood, and for you to survive that. And Candace Owens said that she saw a video where there was no blood. Now, do you all understand why I'm playing this part of the video? And I am not prone to believe a damn thing Candace Owens says at this point. Not one. So, how does she come up with this whole there was no blood? It's absolutely absurd when it is captured in several videos. But because this young man from Turning Point said there was a lot of blood, she went on her dumbass show, because it's very irritating to sit here and to literally lie against reality and science and the law in my mind. She goes on her show and says there was no blood. What are you talking about? That is so illogical, it's not even funny. Even if you want to question whether or not the bullet made an exit wound, the fact that it made an entry wound, hitting those major blood vessels, it opens up a hole. The only place the blood can go is throughout the body, not through the blood vessels itself, or outside the body, because now you have a hole. This is logic. So obviously Candace Owens flunked science in the 2nd grade because she lied against science. There is no way you get shot in that area, severing major blood vessels, an artery branching directly from the heart, and a huge vein, the internal left jugular, and you got a hole in your neck and you don't see any blood come out? What do you mean, Candace? That's not something that would be hard to prove. It would be just people being traumatized all over again to play the video over and over again. But I've seen 2 videos of that raw footage, and she sits here and says there was no blood. All because a young man from Turning Point said there was blood. So now she just wants to be antagonistic, not factual or accurate. You have to be living in an alternate reality to believe Candace talking about there was no blood. If you know a little bit about science and human anatomy, you would know that. There was a huge splatter. You can't make this stuff up. But no, because Turning Point, she wants to lie and can't produce evidence to show there's no blood. Where's the video of that, Candace? Where is the damn video to show that there was no blood that came out of his body, even though he was shot with a high-power rifle, and it made an entry wound into the neck with major arteries pumping blood against gravity? Somehow, those vessels being severed and the blood stays in his body. Where's the video to show that? You can't make this stuff up. I'm going to play it one more time. Then we're going to get to this video with Milk Bar TV. Shout out to him.
Ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off.
Yep. Video footage would prove that. Several video evidence would corroborate that. That's not something he needs to make up. It's too dramatic to make that shit up. Y'all got to excuse my language. It's too traumatic to make that up. Thousands of people witnessed that. And the ones that were up close saw even more detail. The video I have, the raw footage I have, was from a person that filmed that. And they were like either the first or second row. I think what they want to say, like 2 rows behind, in front of Charlie Kirk. So they was like 2 rows back from the actual tent that he was sitting under. And I saw it myself. anyone in this reality seeing those videos would clearly see blood. But no, because Candace Owens got to be an idiot. There's no blood. I saw the video from behind him. There was no blood, so they're lying. No, it's not for everyone else to prove you wrong. You, Candace Owens, would have to prove yourself right. No one owes you anything beyond what you are able to access online, just like everybody else. They don't have to give you information or video or anything. The audacity of this, for her to lie against something that people saw for themselves. You're trying to contort reality for thousands of people for all this video evidence out here. Nope. You can question the gun and the damage the bullet did. You can question that stuff all day. But you're not going to say there was no blood when people saw it. When there are video footages that filmed that. You can't make this stuff up. So I had to show that so you all can see for yourselves. Like, this young man has no reason to lie about that. None. So I'm going to go to the next video. In the meantime, while that comes up, we're going to go ahead and get to Milk Bar's video, because this is important.
This company.
Hold on. Let me put that on mute. Okay. So before we watch this, I want to go over what doxing is, because it's something that, Candace Owens refuses to define. And it's something that she's been doing for years. Years. So we're going to pull this information up right quick. And then I'm going to get to some comments, and then we're going to get to this video from Milk Bar. So shout out to all of you. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know this is a sensitive topic, and I'm not telling anyone to go see the videos, because the right people who need to see it will see it. That would be the jury, the prosecutor, the defense, and the judge. I mean, it's already public videos, but the people who need to see it would be in that courtroom when the trial starts on Tyler Robinson. And that's what's most important. So, just, oh my God, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this up. So I'm just going to skim over some. I just want to say I appreciate you all. Shout out to Manny. Shout out to all my mods. Shout out to Laura. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button coming in. Manny is dropping information regarding cyber harassment and bullying, and the laws that we have in place to protect us from being cyber harassed and bullied and stalked and all this stuff. So if you guys make sure you check out as well the video from, and I want to make sure I put the link in the chat to the video, Life is Driving. Shout out to him. And Milk Bar TV. Make sure you guys are able to watch Life is Driving, that full video, if you can. I understand it's traumatic, but if you can. Because this is the type of stuff that, as opposed to these candy asses coddling to Candace, they should be asking her, okay, where's the video on this? You're saying there's no blood, but there's a hole in his neck from a high-powered rifle, from a bullet that seems like it had the properties of being able to kind of explode upon contact or leave shrapnel, at the very least, leave some other fragments. And we don't have an autopsy report available to us. Doesn't mean one wasn't done. We, the public, can't see it unless Erica Kirk wants to release it. That's her call. And I want to see it myself, but I don't, not at the expense of somebody's medical information being, disseminated without consent. That's part of her problem. She thinks that people owe her stuff. What's going on, Julia? She has 2 degrees, a medical and a law. Candace knows everything. Child, you would think her nonsense. Oh, child. Uh, did someone try to dox in here? No. He's just posting the information. Yep. And he does that. He puts out, researched information in the chat for you guys to just be able to see as a reference. We are going to go over doxing in particular and get to the video here because this is important. So, all right, let's get to it, you all. Y'all ready? Hey, we got to go. Hold on. Let me go to this information first. I'm gonna make sure I got this up. All right, let's go over this right quick and then we'll get to the video. This is on just a Google search. Doxing is where doxing is spelled either with one X or two X. I typically spell it with two X's. It's the act of researching and publicly broadcasting an individual's private or personal identifiable information known as PII. PHI would be personal health information or private health information. But PII is personal identifiable information online without their consent. This can include revealing sensitive data such as phone numbers, addresses, and other personal records, often with the intent to harass, bully, or extort the individual. The term originates from dropping dox, a slang used by early internet hackers. So, here's the thing. Candace, when you're out here, and let's use Phil Lyman as an example, and you're putting out information about him, his cousin, trying to find his mother, in the effort of, or in hopes of getting an interview, you're doxing him with the intent to extort him for information, because extortion doesn't have to just be for money. For information without his consent. You're trying to get something out of someone. And if they don't give you that, you dox them and you put their information out. You attack their character. And then you subject them to all levels of harassment and bullying and cyber stalking and everything else in between. Because the candy asses don't think twice before they go researching someone, getting personal identifiable information, and then somehow get mad when you say you're going to get sued. It's a cyber crime. Knowing Phil Lyman's information, who he is, where he lives, phone numbers, all because you want to interview with him. And then she said in a video, rightfully so, he's very, angry and upset with me, rightfully so. Why would you say rightfully so? Unless you knew what you were doing was wrong. That would be the only reason why you would say rightfully so. Rightfully so, he's mad and upset. Yeah, because you put him out there. You defamed him. You attacked him. You put out personal information on him. You were looking for his mother. You did that same thing to another relative of his, I think a cousin or a nephew. And then you have the audacity to expect him to give you an interview. This is what happens, though, when you don't read laws. Because I don't give a damn about you being a so-called journalist or a member of the free press. People get sued over this. You have no authority or even permission, and I'm sure that man would have never given her permission to release his personal information, his address, email, information about his job and employer, going through his background to the point where information she revealed was not available to the public. That's what this means when you say personal identifiable information. If it's not available to the public, this person, I don't know if he's a elected official, but even if that's the case, there's certain information that he deserves to have remain private and confidential. Even if you put out information about an employer, like how she does with these companies, if they're not readily publicized to the public like that, And depending on what they do, they may not want to be. But she listed all these companies out here to fit all these, to try to justify her dumb conspiracies. The pipeline, the bees, the this, the nonsense. She was like 2 seconds from releasing everything on the doctors that worked at the hospital. Any and everyone that was somewhat connected to this, she went after them. She tried to go after a young man who played soccer at the school because he was wearing a green hoodie. And then you want to make it seem as if his response is somehow something you're owed. See, it was that simple, guys. All he had to do was just say, this is what's going on. No one owes you that, heifer. No one owes you that. That boy didn't have to respond at all. But she goes after people she feels like she can go after. And then get mad if they talk about trying to sue her. You perceive people to be weak, Candace. That's not the case. Erica Kirk isn't weak because she's not responding to your dumbass. She's showing you how unimportant you are in the grand scheme of her life. Y'all are not friends. I don't even know why you want to even remotely compare yourself to Erica Kirk. But she's not going to dignify your nonsense with a response. And if she does respond, I hope to God it's with some legal letter or something, a lawsuit or something involving an attorney. So certain examples of the personal identifiable information would be a phone number, email, your employer information if it's not available to the public, salary information, if your date of birth, stuff like that is not, public info. Like Candace is a public figure. So her name and date of birth is all over the internet. It's available to the public. But who's going out their way to try to post up her address? But if that were to happen, though, she would be mad and upset. She got mad and upset because she accused Milk Bar of posting up a video from her paywall with her book club. So you don't want anyone to release anything from your paywall, from your book club. But you're posting up personal identifiable information on people for no reason. And you're not an investigator. You don't work for the FBI or the CIA. And you're bad at this when it comes to journalism. You can't make this stuff up. So, for all the candy asses, F around to find out. The doxing, the nonsense y'all doing. The cyber harassment, the bullying, you're leaving digital footprints all over the web. Don't think you can't get caught if it came down to it. Don't think YouTube would not give up whatever information you use to register that Google account to get that YouTube account. And it would not be illegal if Erica Kirk wanted to go after Candace and these so-called mommy sleuths, aka candy asses, for posting up her husband's medical information without consent. You can't make this stuff up. So I just wanted to give you guys some background on that. So now we're going to get to Milk Bar TV's video. Make sure you guys check it out. It's already got 1,300 views today. And this is important when it comes down to showing another pattern of behavior with Candace. So that if anyone wants to sue her for doxing, now you have some sort of historical context to give to show the court how she's been doing this dumb shit for years. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see it in here. Let's get to it.
Is referred to as social autopsy. And apparently they've already compiled a database of individuals online who harass people or bully people.
Words are real. People don't assign, like, there's no humanity behind what they say. They just think it's not real. And that's what technology takes away from children, the fact that it is real. And you would never in a million years say those things to someone's face.
Candace Owens, aka Red Pill Black, is going to put my life in danger by doxing.
Where's your proof on that? Because I'm on one today. Is it Renee? Where's your evidence on this? You understand what you're doing? You're insinuating someone being involved in a murder. You're insinuating they're actually involved in criminal activity. It is a crime to kill someone. So for you even to imply that she was a conspirator or co-conspirator of some sort, you still will need evidence on that. And guess what? You saying that is not evidence. It's just stupid shit. You can say more if you want. You've already said enough. So if this information, this is what I'm talking about here. Let's say the feds want to sit down and investigate Candace and then all the other idiots that sit here and parade her nonsense. They can unleash they can reveal your profile here. Because you're aiding in this pushing of something that is provably false, especially when you have no evidence to show otherwise. That is the epitome of defamation. And it's malicious. So this is more of a reason why anytime anyone says, oh, well, you know, Candace and Erica were friends and he went to their wedding, and I don't give a damn. She was not even talking to Charlie up for a whole year until the day he passed away. She has yet to show text messages with date and timestamps or emails or any form of communication that she has had with Charlie Kirk between last year, July, up until September 10th. None. Now, if I've missed it, y'all let me know. Email me if she actually put up information or anything to show that her and Charlie Kirk had a conversation within the last 12 months. That's all I'm saying. Post it up. CJB said we can say more evidence points to you and Candyland for that matter. Exactly. People don't normally accuse someone of murder like that on average because it's a heinous crime. It is illegal to accuse someone of committing a crime, which goes to the defamation, without evidence. So if she sues the crap out of Candace Owens, that's it. You said in your opinion. But you understand that can be proven to be false. That's where it comes down to it. In my opinion, she's involved. Okay, but based on what evidence? Because I don't think anyone likes the insinuation that they're involved in any way with a murder. You understand the seriousness of that? That it's a very serious thing to say, period. It's still an accusation. You can say it's your opinion, but it's an accusation. You're accusing her of something. I understand you want to call that your opinion, but it's still an accusation. I don't do conspiracy theory. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it. I like facts and evidence. It's too close. It's too close. So in original, I didn't see the comment. The original saying opinion either, but it's too close to an accusation. All right, y'all, let's get to it.
To me. All because I typed mean words on the internet.
This entire controversy, people calling you out, originated from Tree of Logic, right?
Right.
She was the first
people were like, you're just jealous of Candace.
It was never about doxing people. It was honestly, to me, jealousy.
Like, no, I'm not trying to get killed.
How is that jealousy?
I left policing, and in the process of being a police officer, I put two men in jail, federal penitentiary because of me, and they vowed, through most of their time incarcerated, that when they get out, they will find me and they will kill me. They would rape me first, and then they would kill me.
Thank you, Kiwi.
So I think I have an interest in making sure that my dox isn't out there.
It is Candace Owens, the founder of socialautopsy.com.
The first ever search database that compiles and allows the public to easily access the digital footprint of individuals and companies. These individuals are your teachers, doctors, neighbors, and business owners. And for the first time ever, you'll be given the chance to run a real background check on them to see what these people represent behind closed doors.
What we want to do is clean up the internet so that we can make it a safer place.
As you know, that website is a thorough dox. It dox any and everybody, including children. And so I wanted my dox off that site. But most of all, I wanted the site shut down because like
it's dangerous.
I'm just against doxing.
Joining me today is
And
a
it's illegal.
YouTuber who has done pretty much the scariest thing that one person can do. She has come out as conservative. Candace Owens, aka Red Pill Black.
Mike Cernovic gave her the name Red Pill Black because her real name, Candace Owens, was connected to the doxing site Social Autopsy and all of the things that she did back then.
There's a truth about our activism,
especially with her blog.
What's up, everyone? My name is Candace Owens. I'm the CEO of Degree180.com,
where she talked about how to get medication on the low, and how she talked about Trump and saying that he had a mushroom penis that's 2 inches tall, and that's the reason why he's unhinged. She was anti-Trump and very pro-Hillary.
I considered myself a Democrat and a liberal about a year and a half ago as Trump was kind of rising up.
But you didn't vote for Donald Trump, to be clear.
I did not.
I was watching Harmful Opinions video, and Harmful Opinions was really clowning us. When I say us, I'm talking about conservatives and right wingers. He was like, oh, Candace Owens, the one that had a doxing site. Yeah, she's now under the moniker of Red Pill Black, and she's got the conservatives to fund that doxing site. So it looks like that doxing site that we took down is going to eventually come up. And I was like, what?
The unpublished site currently has about 20,000 profiles, but the creator's goal is to launch Kickstarter Denial Be Damned with 150,000.
The site wasn't live at this point.
You can't make this up.
But you were shown how to kind of access it to see what information they had, and that's how you found it.
They just had they had a vulnerability in the security part of the website, and it was just easy to get in. And I followed the directions and I got in. First thing I did was look for my docs to see if I was on there. And I looked for it not thinking I was going to be on there. But then when I saw, I just can't even tell you, Nathan, like, I can laugh about it now, but I wasn't laughing at the time. I was horrified to see my docs, my full docs, and to see the pictures that were there.
Hey,
and these were different type of pictures. Like, there are certain pictures that I can see of myself and I know is.
Let me pause right here right quick. Shout out to you, Jay the Informant. If I could get one of the mods to drop Jay's YouTube channel link in the chat, that would be awesome. If there are any other content creators in here, I want to make sure I recognize you. The chat is flowing and I appreciate you all. 85 people watching. Make sure you hit that like button because this is a very serious topic, especially if you're going to participate online, that people need to be familiar with, and that's cyber crimes, cyber laws, like this is cyber harassment, bullying, doxing, all those things that fall under cyber harassment. This is stuff people should be familiar with because it can be dangerous to certain people out here, like this former police officer who has helped to put people in jail, and you're posting up her information and doxing her. How do you know people aren't out looking for her to do her harm? The same thing with Nicholas Ray. You put out here these horrible statements and people get death threats. Jewish conservatives are getting death threats because Candace Owens is lying on them about evidence, without evidence, about a murder. No evidence to show that they're involved whatsoever. Just her saying stuff led to people being victims of online death threats. And she refuses to even acknowledge Nicholas Ray having gotten the notion of this from her and another neo-Nazi. Her influence led to him sending online death threats to 3 to 4 Jewish conservatives. You can't make this up. This is dangerous, people. So let's get back to it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully this is helpful to all of you so that you can understand your rights and how to protect yourself. And don't be afraid to report it. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Keep this video up in the algorithm. Spread it. Send it to other content creators, or hopefully everybody starts really hammering this down about what Candace is doing. and what she's been doing for years. This is madness. Madness.
Exactly where that came from. So I can see some pictures of myself and go, oh, that's when I was a dominatrix. Oh, that's when I was a bodybuilder. Oh, that's when I was in the politics. Oh, that's when I was on my old channel. Oh, that's when I was in college. Oh, that's when I was a police officer. I know certain pictures. I can tell who should have them. These particular pictures were family pictures. These particular pictures are only pictures that my family members, my biological family members, who I don't deal with anymore. I haven't dealt with them since the late 90s. But there's some bad blood between me and them. And so my cousin put my entire, like my complete docs on, and she verified it because I did call her, and she's put it on this site.
Have someone that you'd like to add to
You
our
can't make
morgue?
this up.
Submit them. Our database is continually.
Her sister sent the information over for her to be doxxed. This is more proof that Candace Owens does not know how to vet information either. This is absolutely reckless. Let me show you all just this one tidbit here of the personal identifiable information that can be considered a part of doxing here. Just want to show you all this right quick. It's home addresses, workplace details, personal phone numbers, social security numbers, bank account or credit card info, private correspondence, criminal history, personal photos. Did she just say that? Let me drop the link to this information here. I do believe Kaspersky, it sounds like a law firm. Oh, it's just the information website. She just said personal photos. Y'all see that, right? Personal photos that only her and her relatives should typically have. Being now put on a website by Candace Owens for the purposes and intent of doxing someone, because there's no other way to describe it. You can't make this stuff up. Y'all see what's there? Embarrassing personal details. Even if you're giving out personal details that is designed and intended to be embarrassing to the person, that is doxing. Because remember now, you're doing this with the intent to harass, bully, and to put out information against someone that is not available to the public. That can easily lead to extortion, that could lead to their lives being put in danger or in harm's way. Trying to sit here and force people to do interviews with you because you think you somebody. No. Phil Lyman could sue her if he wanted to. And then she has the audacity to talk about he's angry, with everything, rightfully so. Yeah, okay. Okay, girl.
Fully grown by anonymous submissions from individuals like you.
If you have a problem with someone, or you want to get back at someone, or you just want to be vengeful like my cousin, all you have to do is log in anonymously.
Oh,
and then you're able to get into the website. But you can do it anonymously. You don't have to connect your Google account or sign in with an email and get validation. And anybody can log in, right? And what they want is they want the picture of the person that you're going to dox or put on the database. They want they want the legal name, but they also want aliases. So with me, she put my legal name, but she also put my birth name. And they want your address. They want your you to put down your current job, so they can basically try to get you fired. They also, on their website, they want to know all the schools you went to, from elementary school to middle school to high school to graduate school. And if you also went to post-grad, they want that information. So every school, it was so much stuff, and it was the most, they want screenshots of what you.
Now I want to pause right here because she said schools. I researched and looked up what would be reasonable to request for a school to verify or identify anything about a current or former student. It is very, very limited. But what is permissible is if I call or email the University of Rhode Island and ask them to simply confirm if they gave a degree to Candace Owens. I don't need the degree. I don't need any information related to it. Her name and her date of birth are public information because she's a public figure. But asking the school if they can confirm, because she already put the school name out there. It'll be different if she never told anyone what school she attended. And then people are looking for that, and then they put it out there. No, she put the information about her school out there on her own. So even if you're, celebrities have the right to, or public figures have the right to privacy as well. But she put it out there. So for me to contact the school, she put out there on the internet to confirm whether or not they issued her a degree. That's not doxing. Because there's no personal identifiable information to dox. She's the one that said she has 2 degrees. She is the one that put out her name, date of birth, and the name of her school. And only her name and date of birth was used to inquire about confirmation of a degree received. I don't even want a copy of it if it is on file. Let's say she's telling the truth, which I doubt. There's no information online to prove that she received her a degree, let alone 2. But asking for confirmation is permissible. And anyone can research that. Please fact check me on that one. Because I wouldn't do that. That's bad journalism. I would not do that if it was illegal. And I don't even want the information. I just want to know if she received a degree. I don't want her information connected to the school. I don't want her student ID number. I don't want none of that. Confirm if you gave her a degree. What she's doing is asking for school information about people that are private citizens that aren't public or elected officials or anything, not public figures like her, to make that available to the public, knowing that it's going to issue a whole new level of harassment towards that person. The intent to harass, to bully, and or to extort, or to bring shame or defame. That's what falls under doxing here.
Said that was politically incorrect, all right, or that was triggering. So they want to see if you said something like Hitler did nothing wrong, or I don't want to deal with the 5013s, or saying, or do the N-word tower. If you did any of that, they want to show that on your profile. And then they want to list every social media platform that you have. It is a thorough and full dox.
What we are doing is figuratively lifting the masks up so nobody can hide behind, Twitter handles or privatized profiles.
What was the threshold to even be on the site?
No, but anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. This stuff is not even validated.
If somebody creates a fake Facebook profile pretending to be you've got a bigger problem than social autopsy, right? Your first problem is that someone has created a fake profile pretending to be you.
Did you have contact with her?
First of all, that is illegal as well, Candace. It's no different than you doxing someone and releasing personal identifiable information. The question would be that a judge would inquire about: if this information was not released, would we arbitrarily know this information about that individual? Does that make sense? That's how you determine whether or not you're releasing personal identifiable information. Is the information already available to the public? And would it be easily accessible to the public if you had not released it? She's saying personal photos, which is one of the items listed as a part of doxing, was posted up on this stupid website of Candace that only relatives should have. That is personal identifiable information. Photos of her. That means you're looking at the information and You're not confused when you see it as to who it is referring to. The same thing with the medical information with Charlie Kirk that I spoke about last week. She posted up that screenshot with Charlie Kirk's name, date of birth, the department specialty type of what was sent to her illegally from a hospital staff, just to prove he went to a hospital. But no one walked away from that portion of the video and saw that screenshot wondering, who is she talking about? Because you clearly see his name and date of birth. That goes for the same thing with the photos. You don't walk away from seeing these photos and then you're trying to figure out who is this person. You put their name with these personal photos together on a website, people would easily be able to identify that you are that individual in those photos. And that is illegal.
She blocked me when I asked her to take it down, that I have people killing me, and that my cousin, when I told her, I literally tweeted to her, I said, Candace, well, red pill black, but I called her, hey, listen,
man,
can you please don't launch this site, because it has my full docs on there, and I have 2 men looking to kill me as of today. So it's like, you're putting my life in danger. And so when I told this to Candace, I said, hey, Candace, my full docs is on your website. And I'm a former police officer. There's 2 men who are out now, okay? And they're looking to kill me. If they find me, because I changed my legal name, I changed my appearance, and I'm very tall. I can't do anything about that, right? I'm 6'3". So what what am I gonna do? Cut off my legs? So and of course I grew, this is my hair. These are dreadlocks. So I grew my hair out because it used to be permed. And I did everything I could, contact lenses. I did everything I could to change my appearance.
We exist as a clean archive of an individual's words only, from which employers, friends, and universities alike may draw their own conclusions.
This is saying that social autopsy is not responsible for anything that happens to the person that you doxed. They are not responsible for any consequences that will result from the personal information that are placed on their website. Free and clear, okay?
Hold on, did the sound go out or is it just me?
Everything for that site. I knew the ins and outs. I knew how it worked, when it started. I knew the backstory. I knew the current story. And so Dave Rubin and
are you guys still able to hear? It could just be my headphones. I just want to pause. You can still hear? Okay. So it's my headphones. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's get back to it. I just have to follow on with the subtitles.
A lot of people wanted to get to the bottom of that, but they wanted to do it in a way that Candace can defend herself, because the walls start closing in. And that's how she picked Blair White.
That, what you're describing there, doesn't sound to me like a...
Well, I bet they regret doing that. How do you sit here and say, we're going to do it in a way to where she can defend herself? And for what? Because she lied about being conservative? What kind of nonsense is that? And now these same people, most of them anyway, are now on the receiving end of this stuff, being falsely accused of being, co-conspirators in a murder. Having information put out about them that, that should be kept confidential. Being the subject of her cyberbullying and harassment campaign. Being falsely accused of, plotting and planning with the United States military between Egyptian planes to take out Charlie Kirk for no reason at all. These are the same people now. Why even do this? They didn't owe her that.
A doxing website would be, I'm using this site to release information about people. But you're saying basically this was going to be an archive home for schools to look at this information and sift through it. Okay.
He's saying
Blair White had nothing to do with me and what I was doing. Me and Blair are cool. But what I'm saying is that she picked Blair White on purpose. One, because Blair's trans, but 2, she picked Blair because she knew Blair couldn't defend the site, because Blair didn't know much about the site. And even though I did my best to coach her before, it's way too much information for her to retain. She did bring some notes. If you see that debate between her and Candace on the Dave Rubin show, it was way too much when Candace would come out with, well, this is available and that is available. Because one of Candace's defense is everything that's available on socialautopsy.com is available on Facebook, and that's a lie.
Just to be clear, all the site did was take in public information,
Public
correct?
information. The information was right there. As you said, my website never doxed a single person.
That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? My stuff, none of that information, including my name, including my picture, is available on Facebook. I never, ever had that happen.
There you go. None of that information would be accessible to the average person online before Candace Owens put it out there with the help of this lady's cousin. Otherwise, it would not have been made available to anyone. This is the nonsense that you can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this up. And she does this like she's, doing a world a favor or something. No, you're putting people's lives in danger. You're putting people's lives in danger here, and you have no care or concern about it. None. You can't make this stuff up.
Happen on Facebook. I've always had some kind of initials or maybe my first real name, but I've never put my full docs on Facebook because I never trust social media like that. I'm a former police officer. Why would I do that? I have, at the time, I put a lot of bad people in jail. You know what I'm saying? Why would I put myself on blast like that?
Yeah, so I created a splash page, which is all that is that she's referring to.
We had nothing but a splash page at that point.
It doesn't make any sense. If the site's not working and we're not recording anything,
what the hell is
and
splash
she's against
page?
what she started,
What's
please
splash
show a link to page not found.
The fact that she's trying to use terms to cover up cyber crimes is just appalling. And
my web developer, I forwarded him all the emails
what is
from
a splash
February.
page?
Did you not
It
see
doesn't
these?
matter.
He called
You
it a
knew.
non-functioning splash
Those
page because he
photos
hadn't
came
yet built the
from a
technology.
relative.
So you're making it seem like I'm a liar. And that's what I wasn't okay with. That's something that was told to me by a web developer, and my web developer.
If there was a database, it's not a non-functioning splash page. So are you willing to take it back that it was a non-functioning splash page?
I am more than happy to admit, like I said to Dave,
she is so petty
And a
and
lot of people
vindictive
didn't
for
even
no
know
damn
that
reason.
as
It's
soon as
not
a
even
child is
funny.
able to have their
And
own
she certainly
profile
thinks she's
and
above
get
the
on
rule of law,
get on these
as
community
if
boards,
she's not
they can be
bound
doxxed
to the
according
laws
her-
here in the
her
land
own
that she's
words.
supposed to obey.
pretty much, if you
because
are a
the Bible
minor,
even says
you are not excluded from anything
Thou art
if you
to
are
obey the
posting
laws
in
of
a
the
public place saying awful things.
You can't make
And it
this
was
stuff
with
up.
no
This
help of
lady
the
is a former
conservatives.
police
I had to
officer.
get the
She said that two inmates
feminists and
that
the
she
liberals, as
personally
well as a
helped
lot of
put in
libertarians in the
prison
center
were
to
released
help me
and wanted to
pressure
kill her.
her and basically make
And
a
that
big
is
ruckus about
not
it.
uncommon.
Because
It is
the
a
only
very
reason the
common thing.
conservatives
When police
were able
officers
to
get caught up and they go to
nudge
jail.
her a little bit and say, you got to take this
The
site
first
down,
thing
especially
they
with
have
Alex
to do.
Jones,
I'm sorry, hold
is
on.
to shame the right.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm just talking over this. I'm gonna go back. Oh man, I'm so irritated. Let me go back a little bit. The first thing that she wants to do is put somebody's information out. This woman is a con artist. This woman is a con artist. Candace Owens knew better. Can y'all hear that? I'm sorry. I was talking. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. Please, I'm gonna replay all of that. But this woman's a former police officer. And she had people looking for her. 2 inmates that were released that sent her online death threats. And you put her information out there, making it easier for her to be found. And for what? For what? Because the cousin wanted it. No rhyme or reason. Just the cousin posted the information. You can't make this up. What if this woman would have been found deceased? God forbid. Candace Owens would not have taken any level of liability. She probably would not have even cared or even mentioned it. Just like she hasn't mentioned Nicholas Ray sending out death threats to Jewish conservatives because of her influence. She hasn't said anything about that either. She ignores things that could end up getting her in a lot of trouble, as if it's not happening, because she's delusional. You can't make this up. So if something would have happened to the lady, it would have been Candace's fault. And the cousin. If Candace can't look at a law and determine what she can and cannot do, even under free speech and free press, once again, Candace, you're bad at this. Don't get mad when people sue you. Just take it like a champion and go to court. Just like the Macrons, go to court. You can't make this up, man. I'm just, oh my God, the disgust I have right now is mind blowing. This woman could have been hurt or harmed. All right, let's get back to it, y'all. I apologize. I was talking on video. I'm sorry. Let me go back a little bit.
These should all link to page not found 404 error. Let's see if that's the case. Holy crap.
My web developer, I forwarded him all the emails from February. Did you not see these?
No,
He called it a non-functioning splash page because we hadn't yet built the technology.
Okay, so
You're making it seem like I'm a liar. And that's what I wasn't okay with. It was something that was told to me by my web developer, and I repeated
that. If there was a database, it's not a non-functioning splash page. So are you willing to take it back that it was a non-functioning splash page?
I am more than happy to admit, and like I said to Dave,
okay.
And a lot of people didn't even know that as soon as a child is able to have their own profile and to get on these community boards, they can be doxxed, according to her own words.
Pretty much, if you are a minor, you are not excluded from anything if you are posting in a public place saying awful things.
And it was with no help of the conservatives. I had to get the feminists and the liberals, as well as a lot of libertarians in the center, to help me pressure her and basically make a big ruckus about it. Because the only reason the conservatives were able to nudge her a little bit and say, you got to take this site down, especially with Alex Jones, is to shame the right, saying, oh, I thought y'all wasn't for doxing. I thought you guys are not supposed to be for doxing. Oh, you're doxers too. So it made them look bad, like they're SJWs, like they're libtards as well. And so out of face, that's the reason why they shamed, not shamed, the left, and I shamed her because, like I said, I didn't have nobody on the right help me.
She called me a crackhead, and when Blair said that this was a foul rumor to spread, Candace Owens said, oh, it's not a rumor, implying that this was a fact.
You called Tree of Logic a crackhead. You called,
I genuinely think she's on drugs.
Okay, that's fine.
She said I was releasing a doxing site in 3 weeks, and she was scared for her life. That's definitely not living with normal reality.
So the following morning, I got in my car.
Does it sound familiar? Do you all see the pattern here? Doesn't that sound familiar? She's saying this is a fact because somebody's cousin said so, with no evidence, no proof whatsoever. She's doing the same thing with the Macrons. She did it with Kimberly Klacik because we went over that lawsuit. She's done it with everyone regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. She says things and then tries to say, oh, it's a fact because my sources, but doesn't reveal the sources, doesn't reveal information to corroborate those sources. This is stuff she's still doing to this very day. Still doing. And she doesn't care. And then has the audacity to talk about, I'm here, people wanting to sue me. Sue me, sue me. Yeah, okay. And videos like this, shout out to Mick Barr, will easily be used against you in a court of law to show a pattern of behavior. And all those mommy slews can go down with you. They can all be named if you want to go there. Candace, you underestimate the rule of law and you think you're above it. She's still doing this stuff and says the same old thing. It's like auto repeat, just like her conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Auto repeat. She takes the same old dumb crap and recycles it just to keep it out there with still no proof or evidence. Unbelievable.
car, drove to a local health clinic to take an extensive drug test. 3 days later, I posted my test results on my Twitter profile showing that I tested negative for everything, including medication.
How come I haven't been sued if these people's lives were completely ruined, if it happened a year ago?
Candace, I don't know. Ask people who didn't choose to sue you. I don't fucking know.
When I arrive in Texas, I will do two things. One, reveal my real name. And two, file a lawsuit against Candace Owens for slander.
I reached out to so many people, but they were like, come on, play right. We need somebody like Candace. She's articulate. She's black. She's a woman. And we need her to get the the blacks off the Democratic plantation. That bullshit.
A movement called Blacksit, which encourages black voters to leave the Democratic Party.
It is time for us to stand up for our community boldly.
Right. And it was like they weren't hearing me because they needed her for their agenda. And it didn't matter she had this Doxxing site. It didn't matter that she had a tool that could be used against them. They didn't care. They just needed their so-called Harriet Tubman because their fascination with trying to get blacks from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. It was so fake. It was just, all of that was so fake.
You know, I have to hand it to Candace. She's the best con artist I have seen in years.
Thank you. My dear Lord, thank you. She is a con artist. She's a con artist. And to think that they did this to protect her so that she could help them get votes. But never mind the lawsuits. This Dave Rubin, whoever that is, could be named in. If you're going to sit here and try to give her a pass or set it up to where she can defend herself, no, your ass needs to be named as a co-conspirator. You can't make this up. I'm so glad she said she's going to sue her. She doesn't even have to reveal her real name until it lands in a lawsuit and it is filed with the court. This is something else. Y'all, this video was posted today. Posted today. Let me see when this interview
She interviewed with the right.
Hold on, I want to see when this interview was done and conducted. So after these candidates, people are seeing what Tree tried to warn the right about back in 2017. This was 2017. Did she ever sue her? I hope she did. Unless I'm reading this wrong. It looks like this interview was done in 2017, or the interview could have been recent, and then the other information that he's putting in here was from 2017. But let me tell you something. I hope she sues her. Get all the money, girl. She's worth $220 million. Don't skip a beat.
People. None of them fact checked her, and none of them went to the website that is still up and running, collecting doxing information right now as I speak.
It's going to sound crazy coming from me, but I appreciate someone like Candace Owens to show me the hypocrisy on both sides, the nastiness, and how money and power rules over all. It doesn't matter about morality. It doesn't, and I'm talking about for the left and the right, but I'm a right winger. I'm a conservative. So when I looked at my side, I'm like, man, we're just as bad as left. We just have different views, you know? So if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have saw that side of my political side. And therefore, the rose-colored glasses were off.
I just want you to answer what people say, because, you know, I'll show a compilation of just her having zero consistency on any subject whatsoever. And then people will look at that, including social autopsy.
Simply put, social autopsy is your digital footprint. So be mindful of the words that you share.
And it's an exciting time to be alive. And I encourage everybody out there, get your voice out there. Don't be scared to say whatever you're thinking. Nobody can stop you.
And they'll say, oh, but that was 10 years ago. She's changed.
How?
Who? So this interview was done recently, yesterday. But this conversation here with the Rubin report was in 2017, because he said that was 10 years ago. She's changed. Like, you know, well, I guess he's asking the question, but yeah, that makes sense. This is 2017. It's been good 8 years. And she's still doing it. That's why the Macrons are suing her ass. And everyone else needs to sue her that's been threatened or subjected to her BS or been doxxed by her. They need to sue her.
Paid Tree of Logic? Who paid Richard Spencer to retweet something?
If I say that I think something is paid, that is at my discretion. I can say I cannot present to you a fact, and you can't present to me not a fact. Okay, so we're both.
What?
And what has emerged to me is very clearly a picture, a network of influencers who I believe are being paid to go after certain people.
You can't prove it's not true, and I can't prove it's true.
Okay, you are admitting that.
It's on you. It's on my opinion. You made the claim. It's on
Well, I think you're admitting you speculated. So
yes.
it's
The feds made up the text messages, but you don't.
Yeah, because she said she speculated, because that's how she does. She lies. You're talking about no one can prove that you're lying, Candace? Are you serious? This woman said her cousin did the information and sent over that, and you all just posted it up. You didn't vet any of that, because she still don't know how to do that either. What a dingus she is.
Don't have anyone from like the FBI telling you that, or law
I have
enforcement?
leaks.
Okay.
No.
Has anyone leaked to you?
And Tyler Robinson.
Has anyone said to you, even off the record, like, yeah, we faked these?
I have very strong sources everywhere on both sides.
Well, I look forward to seeing the evidence.
What source? What source? This is the thing. She's still not presenting corroborating evidence to back up whatever the sources are telling her. You can't just tell me, hey, Umar's name is not on the deed. And I don't present evidence to show that. And here I am regurgitating it. No, I'm going to get a copy of the deed, which is what I did. Just like she can't say I got 2 degrees and think that should not be fact checked, as bad as she lies to people. Or the fact that she has yet to mention that she filed the motion to dismiss in the Macron case. But then after having said, I do not want this case dismissed, while she's on the road to trying to get it dismissed. This is just flat out lies. It's just a lie. It's not an opinion. It's not journalism. It's just a flat out lie. That's all it is. And she said she has sources from both ends. Let me tell you something. You keep sitting here insinuating you have information pertinent to this case regarding Charlie Kirk. You're already talking about you don't believe that Tyler Robinson did it, and you don't believe he acted alone based on his role in all of this. That would be information material to the case. It would definitely sway the outcome of that case, of the hearings. So you meaning to telling me that you have information that could either prove or disprove beyond a reasonable doubt that Tyler Robinson did not shoot him, but he was at least involved. And you're not giving that to the feds? That's called interference. That's an easy obstruction charge, especially when she is bragging on it and it's an intentional withholding. She wants to sit here and talking about lying by omission. Candace, you are the walking epitome of that. If you have information pertinent to this case regarding Tyler James Robinson that could easily sway the outcome because you so-called trying to prove that he didn't do it, and you don't produce any evidence to support that, the fact that you're intentionally misleading the public with those statements could be interference. The FBI needs to stop being scared of Candace Owens because she has no power. Charge her ass with obstruction and be done with it. This is unbelievable. She wants the defendant to get off, but she can't prove who else is involved and who else did it.
Yeah, sure.
I am the one that can basically just destroy every rebuttal that anybody
you can't make this
can
up.
say about it because I studied her the most. I think you're going to be the second one who can do the same thing because it was so personal. It wasn't about her. I know the Doxxing site was bad, but it was personal. My life was on the line for this. So This was different for me. So I know this like the back of my hands. So I had someone say, why are you bringing up something that happened so long ago? She addressed this in her book. I said, what did she say?
Who cares what she put in a book? She's still doing
They can't tell me nothing. I said, because if she addressed it, tell me what she said, because every time she addressed it, she'll say, my heart is in the right place.
No, it's
My
not.
passion behind it was well intended, but it was totally naive and not something that now I know that I shouldn't have done.
Yeah, has she ever actually apologized
dear
for
Lord.
She said,
No.
I will never, ever apologize for socialautopsy.com
You can't make this
because
up.
my heart was in the right place. I had good intentions for that site.
Yeah. It takes a particular...
Dear FBI, I hope you're watching. You cannot allow this to continue on from Candace and not investigate her at the very least. This cannot continue to go on unpunished. It's so depraved, it's not even funny. And if that lady would have been up being, hurt, harm, or God forbid, killed, then what? While she's tweeting evidence of where she would never apologize for it. That means, Candace, because you're a narcissistic, psychopathic, delusional piece of shit, that you would never show remorse in court either. And the judge would definitely take that into consideration. Are you even remorseful or truly and genuinely sorry for doxing people? That would factor into whatever penalty you receive if it ends up leading to criminal charges. It's definitely going to lead to a lot of lawsuits. People should be suing her by the droves. I mean, literally, by the droves. 4 people at a time can be suing her behind. Take a page from the Macron's playbook, because they're not playing.
I think, a broken person, but I'd also say maybe evil to dox children and not think that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
Oh,
and she said that looking straight into the camera, unapologetic, like that she's a different type of evil.
We stand by the fact that we think the best time to be on our database is when you are a minor, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We are trying to affect their, conscious when they're young, so they know to use the internet more responsibly when they're older. There's no harm, no foul, really, if you're a minor, right?
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question, Candace. Is it okay if I post up your children's information? Let's start with their names, date of birth, and social security numbers. Perhaps your address to your house. Would it be okay if I posted up information about your kids, like their health, and in hopes of it swaying them from turning out like their damn mother with no soul? Would that be acceptable, Candace? You got 4 kids. You reap what you sow, girl. And every punishment we pay, every price we pay for whatever we've done wrong, it doesn't always come back on us directly. See, God knows how to get your attention better than you think. It'll ricochet and probably come upon the heads of your kids. They may end up suffering some penalty because of your actions. That's just karma. You can't make this up. So if she feels that way, that means she should be doxing her own children then, right? Just so y'all don't turn out like me, let me make sure I put everything out here about you all. If that be the case, that same excuse could be used with her children being doxed. But yet, if that happens, she'll be big mad.
You have this profile for 365 days. You're not applying to college. You're not, going out for a job. It doesn't do anything to affect your livelihood in any way. So we think that that's really honestly the best time for people to learn.
You touch on this, but I just want to say, because the other one that people respond with is, they're like, what's happened to Candace Owens? She's lost her mind now.
She's been crazy.
What? She's always been this way. What are you talking about? She's always been this way.
Oh,
you guys have a great day and stay up to date on social autopsy updates. And be nice. Just be nice on the internet. It's really easy. You don't have to worry about this if you're just nice.
Oh, shut up, girl. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. I know I'm running over from the Umar live stream. I'll get to that after this. But I want to play this last video here. This is CNN exact moment when she realized her career. She ended her career. She ended her career the moment the Macrons hit her with that lawsuit, and then turned around and said they are prepared to bring scientific evidence to prove their case. That is when her career ended because, like she said, she staked her whole career on the fact that Brigitte Macron, was born a man. Remember that? She lost her career the moment it was released that they will be bringing scientific evidence to court. That was it. You're not going to keep getting away with this, Candace. You're just not. Shout out to Milk Bar for doing that interview. I feel sorry for this lady and all those who have been victims of Candace Owens' cyber harassing behavior, because it's a crime. It's a crime, Candace. It's illegal to do this. You're not a journalist. And whatever you claim to be with investigations, you're bad at that too. You're not an FBI, CIA agent. I don't even think you would make the cut to work on the janitorial department. You can't make this up. This is just a 6-minute video, so let's check this out, you guys.
Do you have any proof that the messages were made up? Because that would be easily proven.
Yeah, but they didn't put timestamps on them, and Discord came out and said they didn't exist.
This was supposedly text messages, not Discord messages. It's my understanding from the indictment.
I actually did not read that they were text messages.
The indictment. So she didn't read the indictment. You know, I went over it. Yeah, okay. She didn't read the indictment then. I don't think she cares because in her mind, Tyler Robinson did not do it, and she wants him to get off the case. That's how I feel at this point.
It calls them text messages.
This video will be the end of Candace Owens. Take a look.
When you say you believe that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by someone close to him, what do you mean?
I think that in the coming weeks, there's going to be a lot of financial reports that are coming out. And I, first and foremost, do not believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I want to be very clear on that.
You can't make this up.
Whether he was involved, I think the answer is yes. I think that's obvious.
And your basis for saying he didn't act alone is what?
I don't know, maybe the weird Fed messages that were concocted out of thin air that had no timestamp and were written like they were speaking in 1822.
Oh no, like your text messages don't have timestamps on it. You know, how ironic for you to be able to recognize when messages don't have timestamps, and yet you post up not only messages, but you held up your phone that was not in direct camera view just to try to prove something is real. When it can still be fake and you can just be showing fake messages from your cell phone now. No timestamps on them. I didn't even see a date. And then she has the audacity to hold up her phone like that validates it even the more. No, it doesn't. It makes you look even worse because now it's like you're holding up a phone and we still don't see the information to validate it. Where are the date and timestamps? This is a joke.
Among other things, their lack of an ability to answer any basic questions about what took place.
But do you have any proof that the messages were made up? Because that would be easily proven.
Yeah, but they didn't put timestamps on them, and Discord came out and said they didn't exist.
This was supposedly text messages, not Discord messages. It's my understanding from the indictment.
I actually did not read that they were text messages.
The indictment calls them text messages.
What would it be like the feds are like on a computer, like typing it out back and forth?
That's exactly what it is. The feds made up the text messages.
But you don't have anyone from like the FBI telling you that or
Yeah, no, the same thing could happen with you, Candace. Those text messages in your phone could have been between you and your damn husband. Girl, bye, Felicia.
I have leaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone leaked to you?
And Tyler Robinson
But has anyone said to you, even off the record, like, yeah, we faked these?
I have very strong sources everywhere on both sides.
Well, I look forward to seeing the evidence of that.
Sure. Because when we keep talking about evidence, it's like, who's going to present that evidence? Like the mainstream media? Like
the prosecutor, you dumbass. I told you all she doesn't know how court works. The prosecutor brings forth the charges to the court, Candace, after a probable cause affidavit was signed by the FBI, the agent that gathered the information, the evidence that did the initial investigation. It was forwarded to the prosecutor to present his charges to the court. That is how that works, girl. And you refuse to research this stuff and look it up. You didn't even read the indictment because you're saying Discord messages and it clearly says text messages would be totally different. Text messages between one phone to another phone. Discord is on a separate platform altogether. You can't make this stuff up.
Who are you expecting to come out?
That would be a hot story.
No, it wouldn't be.
It would be.
It wouldn't be.
If the FBI,
Yeah, it would be.
like if I had a source telling me, like if I had proof that the FBI faked those messages, that would be an enormous story.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
it would also sway the case. It would also sway the outcome of the ruling. It would be material to the case, Candace Owens. It would be material to the case. And it'll also show that someone in the FBI is leaking shit to you, and they shouldn't be. They should be fired and charged with that, because there's a reason why the FBI does not reveal all of their information. That's not how federal investigations work. You can't just demand evidence because you don't understand the definition of the term, simply because you want to claim that you were still friends with him, even though you two had no interactions or communications within the last 12 months. Make this make sense?
like we live in a post-Epstein world, and we know how stories get shut down. And
Beautiful. Beautifully done. Whoever that CNN reporter is, and I'm going to link her in the description, she is incredible. 100% on the money. You have no evidence, Candace. There's none. Show us the evidence. Unbelievable claims require unbelievable evidence, require proof. She has none, right? She has no proof that Tyler Robinson wasn't the shooter. She has no proof that TPUSA was involved. None of it. It's all just her hearsay. It's all just her dream that came to her in a dream. God came to her and told her that, or Charlie Kirk came to her and told her that he was killed not by Tyler Robinson, that he was betrayed. Let's go through that one more.
But yet, the dead spirit of Charlie Kirk did not tell her exactly who did it either. No one finds that ironic. He came into her vision, because reasons, and said, "Avenge me." And then she said, "Okay." And yet, he didn't tell her who the actual person was, or the people that allegedly betrayed him and had him assassinated. He didn't tell you that? You can't make this up. He told her everything else except who's the killer.
More time. It starts around here.
Is what? I don't know, maybe the weird Fed messages that were concocted out of thin air. Yes.
And your basis for saying he didn't act alone is what?
I don't know, maybe the weird Fed messages that were concocted out of thin air that had no timestamp and were
Yeah, I don't know was good enough for me. That proves the point. I don't know, because she doesn't. She just doesn't damn know.
And like they were speaking in 1822, among other things. Their lack of an ability to answer any basic questions about what took place.
But do you have any proof that the messages were made up? Because that would be easily proven.
Yeah, but they didn't put timestamps on them, and Discord came out and said they didn't exist.
This was supposedly text messages, not Discord messages. It's my understanding from the indictment.
I actually did not read that they were text messages.
The indictment calls them text messages.
What would it be like the feds are like on a computer, typing it out back and forth?
That's exactly what it is. The feds made up the text messages.
But you don't have anyone from like the FBI telling you that, or law enforcement?
Leaks.
Okay.
No.
I hope the judge hears this. Dear Judge, Candace Owens just said she has leaks within the FBI. Because that would be material to this case. So yeah. Y'all need to bring her ass in and depose her. I'm rooting for a deposition. Please, dear God, let that happen. The FBI has to be watching. If you all don't depose her, you better. If she's got material evidence that will be material to this case that could change the outcome, you need to be deposing her, Koch Patel. That's a way for you to get a little get back as well. You probably feel better for her embarrassing you online. Yeah, okay. And put it on a court order. That way, if she doesn't do it, they will hold her in contempt and hopefully lock her ass up for a good 30 days.
Has anyone leaked to you?
And Tyler Robinson
But has anyone said to you, even off the record, yeah, we faked these?
I have very strong sources everywhere on both sides.
Well,
what does that mean?
I look forward to seeing the evidence of that.
Sure. Because when we keep talking about...
Understand. She said, I know for a fact that Tyler Robinson did not kill Charlie Kirk. She said that. She said that on her show.
Yeah, she said that about, I know for a fact that Brigitte Macron was born a man. Y'all see where this is heading? Y'all see the cycle? Y'all see the pattern of behavior here? Kash Patel, please depose her. Go to court, get a judge to sign an order for her to be deposed. She would not be able to skip out on it. It would be court mandated. And if she violates it, you need to throw the book at her ass.
Multiple times. She said it here, right? She spent the last month, 2 months going on this whole mystery explanation of what really happened and how, Israel was involved and TPUSA was involved and everybody
Egyptian
betrayed
airplanes.
him. And then when asked, what is your proof? Do you have any
US
proof at
military.
all for these incredible claims? Well, trust me, bro. That's basically what she said. The messages, they looked a little gay. They looked a little fake and gay.
Fake and gay.
As she likes to say, as everybody knows, she likes to say that a lot. It's baffling even to me because I believe she was full of shit, but now I know for sure, 100% she was full of shit.
Yep.
Completely and utterly full of crap.
Yep.
Thank you
Agreed.
to this CNN reporter for doing this and exposing her for the fraud that she is.
Yeah.
May we never have to listen to her again. May we never have to tune in to Candace and her mystery explanation of what really happened to Charlie Kirk. And the fact that, for instance, she'll allude to even Erica Kirk. She never said that Erica Kirk was for sure involved, but she even alluded to certain aspects of Erica Kirk's behavior post Charlie's death as some guilt, as some, weird, messed up thing that she would take on the mantle of TPUSA.
You can't.
Candace is possessed by some crazy Israel-hating schizophrenic disease, and I hope she gets help. Again, and shout out to that CNN reporter for doing an incredible job. If you believe in what we do here over at...
Y'all, shout out to Jewish Uncensored. That was well done. Shout out to the CNN journalist, because that's true journalism to ask for evidence, Candace. Perhaps you should look up the definition of that term. And while she wants to run around here talking about everybody is jealous of her, let me help you all out. Let me help Candace out. Candace, this is the definition of jealousy. It is a resentment against a rival, a person enjoying success or advantage, or against another's success or advantage itself. Mental uneasiness from suspicion or fear of rivalry, unfaithfulness, etc. Vigilance in maintaining or guarding something. A jealous feeling, disposition, state, or mood. Candace, who in the hell would be jealous of you when you're being sued by world leaders for defamation? And they're going to prove the malice intent as well. Who would be jealous of you? Once again, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? I hope the FBI puts her ass under oath and depose her, because she's admitting she has evidence material to a case that could sway the outcome, and she is intentionally withholding it and not giving it over to the feds because, and I'm quoting her here, we don't trust the feds. We don't care what you trust and don't trust. We have laws. There's a reason why the FBI doesn't do this. Y'all, look at what's going on now. She's going to get this man off by simply sitting here saying this nonsense. She wants him to be declared innocent. And she can't prove who else did it. That's the scary part about this. So, you can't make this up, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I just want to, show this information because this is dangerous. I actually did a video a couple weeks ago about the dangers of Candace, cyber harassment and doxing and the defamation, bullying, the cyber stalking. I talked about this 2-3 weeks ago. It's on my playlist. Make sure you guys check out that playlist because you can't make this up. I saw this pattern of behavior coming up after she put Phil Lyman out there. I did a video back then, and that was 3 weeks ago. I even talked about the situation with Phil Lyman. Why are you looking for his mother? How his cousin had to erase 2 out of the 3 of his social media platforms because he was being harassed. The candy asses were being stupid as usual. And none of them think that they could easily be sued. Nope. Nope. It's very possible. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Hit the like button on the way out. Want to get to the next live over about Umar. So hopefully I see you guys over there. And I appreciate every one of you. Resources to the information will be in the description of the video. Shout out to all of those who sent in these supers. Thank you, Tracy, for the $5 super. She talks about Candace. Another voice of reason. Check out Carrie Smith, the program. Okay, cool. I sure will. Email me the YouTube channel link so I don't forget, because I do sometimes just things slip my mind. So email me at LadyLuckClubLLC@yahoo.com and send me the links and I will check her out. Shout out to Yuck 2.0 for gifting the 10 memberships to the LLC. I appreciate your support here and I hope you guys enjoy those memberships. Kiwi, thank you so much for the $5 super. Thank you for keeping on Candy lies and exposing her caca. Usually an investigative journalist gathers information, fact checks, then to the public. Exactly. Thank you so much, CJB, for the super, for the $5 super. I appreciate it, you all. This is an absolute blessing. You have no idea. And here's the information to the channels for the Audacity to Get It Done link. For Manny, our fantastic mod here in the LLC. Shout out to Manny. So you guys go and support Manny over there on his YouTube channel. The Informant Media that popped in, shout out to you. And then the links and information. And you gifted another 10 memberships. I missed that one. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys have a great evening. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.